Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
What day do you call this, Nelson?
It's a Thursday. What are you going to do about it? Stop crying. Stop crying like a baby. You whingy baby crier.
I'm just saying, Nelson, people don't like podcasts that are tardy.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are you going to do?
You're just doubling down on that attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, no, off the bat, just a slight apology for being a couple of days late.
No, screw you.
It couldn't have been helped.
Hey, listener, screw you.
Wow.
From me to you, don't care.
Well, you've got two reactions here.
Yep.
Nelson is very flippant about you being a listener, but I adore you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a win-win, really.
You're getting the best of both worlds. Because you are getting the love from me, and I want you to come back, and I apologize for being late. But you do treat them mean to keep them keen.
Yeah.
So they do want to win your approval.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's some people out there that'll be like, Camp is probably phony, in his apology.
Nah.
And I'm being just,
You're
blatantly...
You're being genuine.
Yeah, genuine. So we've covered all bases.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
Cambert,
Yeah.
we saw Captain Marvel last night.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much one of the three reasons in which we didn't do this earlier.
Yeah. We should let the listeners know Monday and Tuesday legitimately we couldn't do.
Yeah.
But last night we did want to go see Captain Marvel.
Last night we definitely could have, but Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So...
we wanted to see it at 6:30. That was a convenient time for us.
yeah, that's right. We didn't have any obligation to anyone else, really, is what we thought in our heads. But I guess I just thought I'd say it's a good movie.
It is a good movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's gratifying to see.
We won't spoil anything, by the way, in case you're worried that we will.
Because it released today. So that would be a real dick move to be like, well, you haven't seen it? Day of release?
Yeah. It's not like Sixth Sense. You can... Yeah.
It's gratifying to know because I've been a long-term fan of Captain Marvel. In fact, it's been the pop vinyl on my bedside table for many years now with little Carol Danvers.
No.
To see that they didn't completely screw it up and then you don't have to explain to people, oh, it's normally better. I feel like that is people that enjoy Green Lantern, which is a pretty good character.
Yeah.
Forever have to be like, I like Green Lantern. I know, the movie sucks.
Or most DC films, really, at this stage.
The Flash can be good.
I know he can be. Just think about it, but better. But way, way better.
So it's just nice that the movie is good, and now I have to be like, yeah, comics good too. I don't have to. You're just on board now.
Yep. Also, listeners, just preempting something.
Yeah.
Next month, The Avengers comes out.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame. If there is a time in which we can watch the film that will interrupt the recording of this podcast, we'll be... You know where we'll be. Okay, we won't even have to explain it. You can look at your diary and it'll say Avengers Endgame comes out. Also underneath that, Reddit podcast comes out. Just, you know what's going to happen. Okay?
Yeah. So this is something I said to you last night because they played the trailer.
Hold Me Closer?
Before Captain Marvel. Yeah. Just prior to that.
Okay.
I said, because that releases on 24th of April, I said. So 25th of April rolls around. Obviously, we've seen it opening night.
Yeah.
What do we do? Like, that's it. That's what we've been waiting for.
After that, we're just done.
Yeah. This podcast is over, for sure.
This podcast is done.
No point.
I think I'm just going to lie on the ground and just do nothing.
Yeah. Forever.
Just lie there.
Until they can announce a movie
yeah.
that is such that will get me out of my stupor.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lie there.
I think they would be morally obligated at the end of Avengers. They have the end of credits sequence.
Yeah.
That it just like alludes to a completely new crazy movie plot twist that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That and it can't just be an additional Marvel because we know that they're still carrying it on anyway.
Spider-Man
but it needs to be like Avengers equivalent. Only better. Like, we're going to do Marvel versus DC next. Yeah. Something just to keep us going.
You know what? They should do that, or either that, or at the end, just have a phone number you can call.
Yeah.
To be like,
you can just cry into the receiver.
What do I wait for now?
Yeah.
Or I don't think this will happen at the end of Endgame, but I think this will happen, in the next few months because Disney just brought Fox. I think once the dust settles, no pun intended, they'll be like, X-Men are coming. And it'll be X-Men versus Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's happening. That
would make me stand up and go, I'm back.
Yeah. I can finally get up off the ground. That's good. Something to live for, finally. That's true. But we're incredibly hyped for the Avengers.
Yes.
And hopefully you are too, listener. Yeah. But that's not what you're here for.
No.
At all. You're here for Reddit. Good old Reddit. That's reliable. Unlike movies.
Is it reliable? Some weeks.
No. Yeah, some weeks. Some weeks it's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, maybe this first one.
Ooh.
Okay, so just the first one, it was in Ask Reddit, right?
Yeah.
But we don't need to answer the question. Oh, you've ruined it. Now you have to answer the question.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, so this was by Shivers877.
Okay.
And they said, which conspiracy theory is so believable that it might be true?
Oh, numbers on the toaster.
Pretty, yeah. Well,
we blew it wide open.
We all know about that one. But I mean, look, I'm just going to read it again.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not going to change.
Okay.
I just want to make you and the listeners understand that it's what it's asking for.
So you're about to read it again?
Which conspiracy theory is so believable that it might be true? It's so believable it might be true, Cambo. Okay? So we're not talking about the crazy ones.
Right.
Right? Moon landing faked. That's too crazy.
Loch Ness Monster,
too crazy. Princess Diana's death was planned. What? Just
no, that one's real.
Out of the realm
that
of...
one is real.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to kill the Princess Di, and you want her to definitely die, car crash. It kills everyone all the time.
That's true.
No one's ever survived a car crash.
You know what?
That's a foolproof way to do it.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
And they knew she wouldn't be wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
They knew that.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'll leave this up to you, but should I call this person out? Because I do have the username.
If there's ever a chance to call someone out.
Okay. We got to do it.
Yeah.
We're obligated.
Yeah.
Okay, this is by Javid Sanders 44.
Okay.
I mean, he could be trolling. Or she, I don't know. But anyway, okay. My conspiracy theory. Facebook purposefully attempts to ruin people's relationships because the drama gets more views and more views sell more ads. Several years ago, they introduced a feature so that your comments on other pages would show up in your friends' feeds. So if you're secretly an atheist and you comment on some atheist page, it shows up in your devout Southern Baptist Grandma Muriel's timeline, even though it's a conversation that has nothing to do with her and there's no reason for it to be. As a result, Facebook outs you to your family, and Grandma is typing away at all the evil Satanists trying to corrupt her grandson. And if you comment on a public post, it's unavoidable. You used to be able to control who could see your comments, even on public posts by other pages. But at the same time, Facebook introduced their tattletale feature. They took that ability away. Now, if they were to stumble across the same page, they'd be able to see your comment. But after that change, Facebook started pointing everybody you know directly to it. Not to mention the privacy settings are difficult to find, difficult to understand, and with each passing year, gives you less and less control over who sees what. By forcibly combining everybody's social circles, Facebook is trying to generate conflict. They want to generate conflict because the conflict happens on Facebook, which means people logging onto Facebook more often and seeing more ads. They're essentially an internet tabloid, except instead of showcasing the personal drama of celebrities for clicks and sales, they're doing it to you instead. Ever notice how the vast majority of family drama, relationship fights, etc. these days happen on Facebook? That's by design. Facebook is literally destroying the social fabric to make a buck, consuming relationship stability like it's an oil refinery consuming crude.
Right.
What the absolute... That is like just the dumbest thing. Could you imagine the person you're in like a Facebook boardroom meeting?
Yeah.
Mark's there, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And some guy's like, hey, how about we destroy relationships? How about we have this idea where you just fuck up all your relationships you've made through Facebook? Because then everybody will keep coming back to Facebook. Then somebody's like, won't that stop people from going to Facebook? And they were like, no, because it causes drama. Don't you get it?
And 100% of people around the world love drama.
Yeah. They love drama that involves them specifically.
There are two rock-solid facts that can't be denied. One, everyone ever in a car crash dies. And two, everyone in the world, no matter who, loves drama.
They love drama. They love that it happens to their friends and family, and they want to see that. They want to see their relationships around them crumble.
Here is a phrase that we don't get to say that much on this show.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to say it.
Okay.
I'm somewhat qualified to answer this.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's good.
Because in case people are new listeners or you've only listened to a few, I work in social media.
Yeah.
So
you are Mark Zuckerberg.
Nelson, shut up.
You were meant to keep that secret.
Where shall I begin?
There's a lot to break down.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with, they introduced the feature that people could see what people are commenting on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe when they first launched it, there was no refinery of it. Mm-hmm. But in fact, and Facebook, look, I don't want to break anyone's brains. Facebook do want you to stay on Facebook for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's right.
That is true.
Yeah.
But what Facebook actually do is they refine your newsfeed specifically to only show you things that you like.
Yeah.
Because they know that will keep you on there longer. And that is generally, especially in like the 2016 election, is what led to people living in echo chambers.
Yeah.
Because if you had a certain political view and other people on your Facebook had a different political view, generally Facebook blocked most of that out.
Yeah.
And you would only hear the things that you wanted to hear that related to you, and they would only hear the things they wanted to hear that related to them. And it would be better if you did see things from absolutely everybody. But obviously that is bad.
But that would cause conflict. That would actually cause drama.
Yeah.
Seriously, it would. If you were in your like own bubble and you could just see everybody's stupid ideas and conspiracy theories, you would like comment and talk about how crazy that would cause so much more conflict and drama on Facebook. And Twitter's very much the same. I think I was sort of mentioning the other week how I listened to one of the like founders of Twitter, and he said one of the biggest problems is that we've kind of developed this platform to just be an echo chamber, and you only hear from the people in your sort of social circles, and it's a big problem.
So the other thing this person mentioned is that, well, there's no way to monitor who can see your stuff. There is.
Yeah.
You can set whatever you would like. You just have to click the settings cog that no one has ever clicked in their life
that's
to do it. You can also stop Facebook taking your data for ads.
Yeah.
Which is how they make their money. But you can stop that if you really want.
Yeah.
It just means you get worse ads.
Well, they still advertise to you anyway,
but they're not
it's
mining
not
your
as
Facebook data to do it.
Yeah.
So they might get, we might get ads for like diapers and stuff, even though we don't have a kid. Like they just won't target very well at you. Thirdly, his point was like, you just see everybody's. No, you don't.
Yeah. I mean,
very specifically, you have to be following someone to see their stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to see your nan's things or your nan to see your things, you just hit unfollow.
It's the unfollow thing,
You're still friends.
Yeah, exactly. Your nan won't be upset because, you've defriended her. But I think, like sort of going back to initially what you were saying in terms of Facebook sort of provides an echo chamber for your beliefs and whatnot. And if you are an atheist and your grandma is a devout Christian, and the reason why she might have seen that is because perhaps she hasn't built up a big enough profile on Facebook yet.
Yep.
And sure, like, okay, that means that, yes, in that instance, that might happen because Facebook says, well, her interest is you as a grandson, but, you know...
We don't know about her other beliefs yet. She hasn't interacted with enough things.
But
so in a way, it's your grandma's fault.
It's your bloody grandma's fault. But if she, you know, liked a bunch of religious pages, I guess, then, you know, it would far less likely show you a comment your grandson made on an atheist page. Yeah. But, I just think it's so... Like, this is not even close to believable that Facebook is causing drama.
Here's one slightly more believable to do with the same company. There's many people that believe that Facebook can access the microphone on people's phones. And
That's far more believable.
And they can listen to people. And that is why... If I am talking to you, like we've talked a little bit, I've mentioned diapers, and now I've mentioned it a second time.
Yeah,
I might get an ad for diapers now.
Yeah.
And that people have seen that happen a lot. They've mentioned something in conversation, they haven't Googled it on their phone, but they've got an ad for it. And Facebook says that's that weird thing, like you get a car and then you start seeing that car everywhere, kind of thing. Like it's just one of those. Always there. You're just hyper aware of them. That's what they say. But other people are saying, well, you know. It's not unbelievable. Companies have accessed microphones before.
Yeah,
so
that's
that is a far more believable conspiracy theory than the one this person was stating. And
there's also the thing that, in general, if you... the apps that do listen to your conversations or have in the past, they will say it in their terms and conditions.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been one app that hasn't said that.
Yeah, we'll listen to
and then people will like complain about it afterwards, and they're like, well, I mean, we said we will listen, like, you know, we're using your audio and stuff, and so it's like, yeah, sure, but you could just not have the app if you don't want to have this. Like, didn't Snapchat do it? I don't know if Snapchat still does it, but
WhatsApp.
I think
WhatsApp maybe got caught listening to people through microphones, or it was definitely one of the.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
I thought WhatsApp was meant to be very privacy oriented, so I'd be surprised, but maybe it was. But it's like I don't know. I just find that interesting. Yeah, but it's that is a much more believable conspiracy theory anyway.
And the idea that that people can access your webcam on your computer. I mean, you might think it sounds crazy, but you know who has their webcam blocked is Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And also, we deal with like agencies that do like online tracking, and they create ad groups and target people for ads and whatnot. They also all have their cameras blocked.
Yeah.
So that one looks like it has way more water to it.
Yeah. No, I think that one's totally legitimate. Yeah. I've seen, I've like heard stories, especially on Reddit. I feel like it comes up occasionally where there'll be an IT person and they're like, cover your webcam. Yeah. It's like it's much more easier to get into than you might think.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hambo and listeners, you decide.
Yeah.
We don't want to sway you in one direction or the other.
No.
Is this a legitimate conspiracy theory?
Yeah. Is it believable?
If you agree, stop listening. I just don't want you.
I do want you. See, I'm doing that thing.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. But he could have been trolling as well, though, right?
I know. I think there are people that just
he just inherently hates Facebook.
Yeah.
So he comes up with something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably.
Yeah. That's what it reeks of.
Yep. All right, Campbell. Let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. We were kind of already there.
Yeah, I know. Smooth transition then.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a few actually, and I didn't think about this before the show. Okay. This is fine.
Are you okay?
I had many. Normally before the show, I'm like, okay, I'm more likely to do this one.
Right. You're kind of like mentally prepared.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is by JBlaze908. What is it that you hate the most about the city or town that you live in? Well, is that very exclusive of people?
We've talked about this many times.
Oh my God. It's not Federation Square.
No, I'm joking. We have an email about that later.
Good. Oh yeah, we do too.
What is it they hate about the? Yeah, I mean, I can complain about things, but is it going to mean anything to people that listen outside? Yeah, trucks get stuck underneath the Montague Street Bridge all the time. That means nothing to most people.
Is that the way? No, that is the dumbest thing. I would like to enlighten any listeners who don't know about this. All right. There is a bridge, right? And it's got a height limit. Mm-hmm. Says the height limit. In fact, I think even before and after, it's got these little things that hang down.
Yeah.
So that if your truck hits them, it's very obvious that you're
too tall.
You're too tall. You're not going to make this bridge.
Yeah.
And I reckon every 2 months,
mm-hmm.
There's another photo on Facebook
yep.
or in the news or something about some effing idiot that's gone under and smacked, and the whole top of his truck is damaged.
The trucks get stuck.
Well, they get stuck, but I've seen there's some as well that just totally they're 3 feet too high, which is ridiculously way too high. Yeah. And they just I've seen ones where the trailer part of the truck has come off because they've just hit it so far. What idiots? Why isn't there? And aren't all truck drivers being remember that bridge all the truck drivers get stuck under? I better not bloody go onto that one.
So here's the thing. This is what, in Melbourne, this is what a thing it is.
Yeah.
There's a website called How Many Days Since the Montague Street Bridge Has Been Hit.com.
Yeah, okay.
It is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It'll show you a photo of the last vehicle that has hit the Montague Street Bridge.
Yeah.
And how many days it's been. How many days do you think it's been, Nelson?
I think I saw one not that long ago, so I'm going to say maybe 20 days ago.
24.
Oh, yeah, I guess pretty close, yeah. It's just so dumb. Oh, my God.
On the 11th of February, 2019... It was a camper van, and there's a little photo of it.
Just so dumb.
So, for those outside of Melbourne that want more context, go to how many days since the Montague Street Bridge has been hit.com, or just Google Montague Street Bridge because it's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah.
And it's this ongoing thing that people just constantly get caught under this bridge.
It's so dumb. And you know what? It's the thing I hate most about this city. Not the bridge, it's the idiots that live in here that drive under the bridge.
Like Melbourne, I would say, is kind of a wanky, arty city. You got little laneway cafes and avocado and everything and whatever.
And avocado. Yeah.
And that can be, a little bit grating at times. Just sometimes it disappears up its own asshole.
That's true.
But
yeah.
It's not as annoying as knowing that another truck driver got their truck stuck under the Montague Street Bridge.
It's so annoying.
That and we have trams in this city.
Trams are the worst.
They drive on them because some cities, San Francisco is a good example. They also have trams on the streets.
Trolleys, they call them.
Trolleys.
Weirdos.
I know. And so they're on main roads. In fact, we live on a pretty main road in Melbourne, and there's a tram that goes straight down the middle of it.
Yep.
Getting caught behind one of those is
such a son of a... To me, I don't know why anybody thought that trams were a good idea. Unless...
It was the 30s and everyone was depressed, Nelson. Give them a break.
They're like, you know what will make us happier? A tram. And then somebody was like, what's a tram? Then somebody had to explain it, and then they made it.
And back then, not everyone had a car.
Yeah,
so it wasn't such a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's just but obviously I see the importance in public transport.
Yeah.
But it just kills me because the tram's just in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And you can only pass it basically when it's stopped, and you might be able to sneak around it. Yeah. But there's also cars parked on the side of the road, so you can't always do that. And it's just like a bus. It goes down the road and then it pulls over to the side so everybody can go down. It just makes so much more sense.
So here's what you don't want to be, is the car directly behind a tram. Because there's always 2 lanes, right?
Yeah.
And the tram is in the middlemost lane.
Yeah.
And then the other lane is just full of people zipping past the tram because they don't want to get caught behind it.
Yeah.
So if you're the last car behind a tram, no one is ever letting you into the other lane.
Exactly.
Because their name is their chance to pass the tram.
Yeah. You have to try and you basically have to risk your life.
Yeah, you have to drive
get into that other lane. Also, because the tram's always in the middle, so when it stops, there's a law, right, that all the cars have to stop when it stops, or it's even slowing down and puts on its indicator, right? But there's a lot of people who don't drive around trams. It's not like everywhere in Melbourne. So if you like live in the more outer suburbs, you're not used to it. Yeah. In fact, I was in the car with somebody one time, me and a friend, and this girl was driving, and she was in the left lane, and the tram had stopped, and the tram was like maybe 100 meters ahead of us, and she wasn't braking. And me and my friend were kind of like, we were just in mid-conversation talking about something. And at the same time, we both realized that she wasn't going to stop.
She was
just going to keep going. And we were like, oh my God, stop! And then she like slammed on her brakes and screeched. And I kid you not, like at the exact right timing, somebody had come out that if she hadn't stopped, like I would have been part of a murder, basically. And it was so scary. So it's like incredibly unsafe. And they talk about how a lot of people get hit and stuff, by cars. So it's a dumb mode of transport.
There was also, do you remember there was kind of a confusing advertising campaign around trams a few years ago with like, guys, trams are as heavy as 6 rhinoceros.
I know.
And I'm like, that doesn't help me contextualize anything.
I've never seen a rhinoceros except on TV.
Don't get me wrong. I imagine they're heavy, but I have no idea how heavy.
That's right. It was such a weird comparison.
Yeah, it was
like, I don't want to get hit by a rhinoceros. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't want to get hit by a tram either.
Yeah.
Like,
I always thought a tram was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
That was odd.
Yeah. Anyway,
there you go. That's 2 very Melbourne-specific things. The Montague
people
Street
get
Bridge,
trams.
The Montague Street Bridge, you literally won't get anywhere else. Trams, you'll only get in like select cities.
Yeah. Okay. I've got another one for you, Camber.
Okay.
This is by Sopa123. You and your neighbor are constantly annoying each other. You have discovered an ant that obeys your every command and cannot die. Using your ant, how do you subtly irritate your neighbor to no end?
Okay. This is a good one. Okay, so, and it's subtly as well. So you can't just have the ant like bite him in the eyeball or something like that.
Yeah.
Because ants are quite strong, right? They can lift.
It's like 10 times their own weight.
Would that,
I mean, it's still not much.
No, but do you think that would be enough for a Scrabble piece? Do you think an ant could lift a Scrabble?
Yeah. Because
I would get the ant to spell out things in his house. Like, the guy would just come home and just say prick. And you're like, oh, what?
Yeah, okay.
Because he's like, how my door's been locked.
Right, okay.
How would he have got in here?
Yeah, it's very important.
Ants just walking through that door, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. It's a very important part that the ant does do it inside. Otherwise, your neighbor might be like, did you just come over to my front yard?
And I want it like on his pillow, like as he's going to bed.
Yeah.
It just says dickhead.
Okay, so he's kind of scared, but it's like more annoyed because you're not like threatening to kill him.
It's insulting.
But it's just insulting, but at the same time, he's like, how are they getting in?
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Because I think that would play some psychological games.
Yeah, that's actually probably better than anything I was thinking.
Were you going to do bite on the eyeball?
Yes, it was bite on the eyeball. I thought that would be pretty annoying. No,
because it's just one ant, right? That's all you control.
Yeah, it's just one ant. Yeah, that's like perfect. You just kill it. I mean, maybe then, okay, in terms of lifting stuff, like if you could get the ant to like move keys, you know, depends how many keys they've got on their key ring. Yeah. Just put, and I wouldn't even, I think to the same degree, I wouldn't like get the ant to move it really far away or even try to hide them. They would just be like a few meters off where they put them. Yeah. Just enough to be like, am I going a little bit insane? I don't know. You know, I want my neighbor to think they're going insane, is my point. But initially my thought was I would just like the ant to sort of sit in wait in any sort of like food packaging. Right? And as soon as they go to grab it out, the ant just crawls out. Yeah. But just every time. For every, like the ant is aware of what this person eats and in what order, and it just like, and just always one. You'd be like, where are these ants coming from? What, like, and then you'd be like, do I eat this? An ant's been all over my cereal. I don't know. I think that would really annoy me after a while. If every time you went for some food, an ant crawled out.
That's a good deal for the ant. I know some insects, they taste with their feet. Is an ant one of those insects?
Sure.
I know a fly is. I wonder because if an ant is, he's having a great time. He's in that pack of Doritos all day.
Delicious. Yeah, I'm rewarding my ant. Obviously. And he can't die. So
we're both gone kind of psychological though.
Yeah.
Make them question their sanity.
You do that. Well, I mean, there was the eyeball one.
Oh yeah, bite on the eyeball.
Bite on the eyeball.
That's a good backup.
That's my fail-safe, yeah.
My only problem with that, because I imagine that you only get one ant, and if he kills the ant...
No, you can't die. That's what it says.
Oh, I did say that. Oh.
You cannot die. Superman ant.
So, okay, every day he comes home, there's a new Scrabble word on his pillow.
Yeah.
What is it? Ow, my eye!
Oh my God.
Every day.
I like the idea as well that the Scrabble pieces spell out, how's the eye? And he's like, what? Oh God. Okay. That's enough, Oscar. Okay. Let's get into Today I Learned.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. What's the intro to that?
Today I Learned. This Today I Learned is by Rami.
Ooh, Rami Malek, Oscar winner actor from Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Okay, this is going to be one of those times where I bring up something just to...
You want to have a rant?
No, it's not too much of a rant. Anyway, I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Today I learned that if My Name is Earl had not been prematurely cancelled, the creator planned to end it with Earl being unable to finish his list, but realizing that his original list had started a chain reaction of good in the world.
Okay.
Exactly. It's kind of exactly my point.
Yeah.
Like, so what? It's like, that is not something... Do you know what would be interesting? Is like, if the Avengers got cancelled, right, before the end game, and people are like, did you know that the writers were going to write it back so that they went back in time and then... Which is like, I mean, let's be honest, that's probably how it's going to happen. But, and they did some fancy stuff, like this really interesting, intricate story.
Yeah.
But this is just like, huh.
Well,
okay. I mean, I get, like, that seems like a logical thing that could happen. That's okay. Like, that does not justify it not being cancelled. If you're like, oh, if only we got to see that. Yeah. Like, it's not that interesting.
So it would be like, today I learned if my name was Earl wasn't prematurely cancelled, he was eventually going to evolve into a serial killer. And he marries his sister.
Brilliant.
You'd be like, what?
Like, oh my God, I wish I could see that.
How were they going to get there?
How is that?
What a weird tone shift.
I don't even understand how does he kill the brother? Like, so many questions.
Yeah, you're right. That is that is exactly, if someone told you the pitch of My Name is Earl, like, guy did a lot of wrong in his life and he almost dies, so he decides he wants to right all the wrongs he did and he makes a list and it's going to go on for seasons and seasons.
Yeah.
How do you think it'll end?
Yeah.
You probably go, look, he'll probably start inspiring people to be good by the end, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is more or less what that
exactly
says.
Yeah. It's like one of two things that happens. He finishes his list and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Or he, the good is spread. It's like very obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, it's like if somebody had been like, how do you think Lost would end? Like, oh, get off the island. And then, you learn, oh, it's a bit different to that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's just, you've just gone with the plainest thing. Anyway, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I brought that up.
No, that's right. You know what, Nelson, anytime you want, just derail the show.
Okay, I often do that. So thank you for giving me free reign.
I am going to derail the show later with Podnapping, don't you worry.
Yeah, okay. Okay. This is by Does the Rower. I think we've had this person before.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Today I learned that Universal Studios' Jurassic Park The Ride cost twice as much to make as the actual Jurassic Park film. That is crazy.
Yeah. To be fair, lasted a while. It only shut down end of last year. That's from 90 through 94. Jurassic Park came out.
Yes. Wait, did you say shut down?
It shut down.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was over there recently and it was not open.
Oh.
Because they are transforming it, Nelson, into the Jurassic World ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bet you that ride will not cost as much as the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that.
But I was blown away by that because I thought like the movie would have been super expensive anyway, and the ride is like so. Last time you went, obviously you couldn't go on it.
Yeah.
But have you been on it before?
Yes.
Because it's just
not
animatronics. You just go around. There's no like. Oh no! Wait, I'm thinking of the one in Disney World.
Oh wait, you thinking of the Jungle Cruise?
Yeah, maybe
where you
it's
just
the
go on a
Cruise.
boat around a river.
But that's got. Yeah.
So the Jurassic. Have
Okay,
you been
that's
on the Jurassic Park
Yeah,
ride?
I think I have. I've been on that one too.
You're on a Jurassic Park boat.
Yeah, that's right.
And the tour goes astray, and then dinosaurs.
What?
Start,
Why would it do that?
well,
That's unlike Jurassic Park.
I know, right? Normally the park goes fine, everyone goes home, and they're like, "We approve of the park."
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So the sequels are so unentertaining.
Yeah.
Just people doing spreadsheets about their end of year finances.
Yeah.
Another this year bigger than the last.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. We should get more of these dinosaurs. Okay, yeah, I remember. And it also has the like the doctor guy is what's his name? Professor,
You're talking about
he's like on the screen and stuff, right?
Yeah. I think there's like a
or his voice at least.
Yeah, disembodied voice that kind of comes over.
Yeah.
And then at the end, spoilers for this ride that is 23 years old.
Yep.
At the end is a big T-Rex, and it comes out and tries to bite you, and you fall down a big slope.
Yes. Okay.
But I mean,
did you survive?
No.
Oh shit! Tough ride.
This isn't unprecedented. The movie Titanic cost more to make than the actual ship, the Titanic. So
but for some reason, I believe that way more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, it's like, I mean, the recreation of it, especially probably at that time, with more limited digitally stuff, it would cost more to just make it look like it's.
I wonder
sinking.
If it's a case of Jurassic Park costing less than you think it cost. So maybe it costs
think maybe that's it.
20 million or whatever. And in the early 90s, that is a lot.
Yeah.
But we're used to like $200 million
something crazy.
Justice League movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the ride was made years and years later. I don't actually know when it opened, but then inflation was such that it was more expensive than it was in the 90s. Dollar for dollar, without it accounting for inflation, more expensive to actually put the ride up.
Right. That makes this Today I Learned way more boring.
Yeah, well, I'm here to ruin things.
Especially because I started it thinking that it was that Jungle Book ride.
You were thinking of a different ride.
I just went straight
You'll
to
be
Disneyland.
excited to know
that one was... Can you just, have you been on that one before?
The Jungle Cruise?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean...
Very recently.
If you compare that to Jurassic Park, not worth it, mate.
Well, you'll be very excited to learn, Nelson, Jungle Cruise is getting its own movie made. I think it comes out next year, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, it seems like a him movie, doesn't it? Him in the jungle. He
loves wearing a khaki shirt in the jungle.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was in the most recent Jumanji, right?
Yep.
And he was in the jungle, right? It's something like
Welcome to the Jungle. Rampage is in a jungle.
Rampage.
There is a photo, and I'll see if I can find it. It's like 4 different screenshots of The Rock in a jungle wearing a khaki shirt, and it says these are from 4 different movies.
That's a weird typecast, to
right?
Be in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll look forward to that one. I guess. Is it based on the ride?
Yes, it is. It's a Disney movie based on the Jungle Cruise ride. And so then, having known that when we were in Disneyland recently, I was like, well, I've never been on it. Let's see what it is. Because, Pirates of the Caribbean, while not a movie's worth of story, you can see elements that you're like, oh, yeah, I see where they got that bit of the movie from and stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah.
This is just animals.
Yeah, it's just
animals.
It doesn't make sense. Wait, aren't there like some witch doctor type characters at some point?
I was very uninterested.
It's not a good ride.
So maybe there was, and I just wasn't. I was just on my phone. Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're on your phone in Disneyland on a ride, like, oh, this is the worst.
Because talk to my girlfriend out of going on It's a Small World.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not good. We're not going to go on it.
Yeah.
I have been on it for us, and it's not good.
Okay, yeah, that's good. As I've learned, most rides aren't that great at Disneyland. I've decided. All right, Cambo. I guess that's it. Let's get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Verboten Publish. Secretly stealing the can opener from your friend's doomsday bunker is the greatest practical joke of all time. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Because, like, your last moments as the nuclear fallout, like, wipes you off the face of the earth will be like...
Yeah. Joe's going to have a laugh.
But wouldn't it suck, right, if you would like, take it and thrown it out or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as the mushroom cloud it goes up in the sky and you're
Yeah.
running for your life, he's like, "Quick, come with me into my bunker."
Yeah.
And you're so panicked you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
And he closes the door and you hear the thing go and he's like, "Oh my god, we've made it." And then you're like, "Oh, wait. You're not going to find this funny now."
Yeah.
But keep in mind when I was doing it, it was pretty funny.
I was very drunk.
There's a very real possibility that can opener is obliterated, as is everything above this shelter.
I think what you'd do is you would try to avoid having him open the cans for ages. Like, I mean, let's go for the
screw top stuff.
Let's go for the packet stuff. Those dried mushrooms aren't going to eat themselves, am I right, guys?
And it's not. It's that rare thing that is both a good prank and a very slow and malicious way to murder someone. That's the good thing about it, because eventually he will starve to death.
I mean, you could open it. It'd just be more annoying.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be far more annoying.
Yeah.
I like it though. Here's another one.
Okay.
It's by Lagomorphix. Ironically, a blind person has less chance of walking into a glass door. Think about that one, Cambo.
Wait, why is that? Why is that?
I mean, probably more of a chance because they can't see.
Why is that ironic?
Is
that like a trope of blind people that I'm unaware
of seeing people, Cambo. People that can see will walk into a glass door.
Yeah, I just don't think it's ironic.
Because I think it's ironic.
I don't know if it is. I think it's interesting and I'm going to say it's funny even though I didn't laugh. Like, it's a funny thought, but you would need to associate someone with something and then have it be the complete opposite. But you're not like, seeing people, they're always running into doors, aren't they? Like, I just don't think it's irony.
No, it definitely is. It's about a blind person doing the opposite of what a seeing person can do.
Yeah, but they
does.
They do that all the time with not seeing. That is the opposite of what a seeing person does.
But something that a person walks. That's
what
a common trope.
Yeah.
I swear that's irony.
Because what you're saying
is it irony?
What you're saying is, like, it would be expected that someone that doesn't see where they're going would want to walk into a glass door, but really it's the people that can see that walk into a glass door. Yeah, I guess it's
But
irony,
I do understand what you mean in the sense that there is sometimes things that are classified as irony.
Yeah.
And they're not. And so I think there's some things that are coincidence that people say is irony, but then I think there's things that are not a coincidence and not irony, but it's like the English language hasn't come up with a word with what it is. I honestly think there's like a middle ground that we haven't quite worked out yet. Like Natalie Imbruglia's song.
Torn.
Yes. Is that the one?
No,
wait, it's not Natalie Imbruglia.
You're thinking of Alanis Morissette.
Isn't it they're the same person.
They're different people.
They were Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Okay.
this one out. Are they both women?
What you're saying
Were
is...
they both famous around the same time?
You're saying brunette singer from the early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both brunettes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah. Ironic by Alanis Morissette.
Ironic.
Some of it is just bad luck.
Yeah, but that's like
Stuck
the
in
thing,
traffic
right? When
you're
she
already late,
says...
that's just bad luck.
When she's like, it's raining on your wedding day.
Yeah.
But I think that there should be a word for that. Right? That's not just bad luck. Mm-hmm. It's not irony. It's not a coincidence. Coincidence doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
What is the word?
Yeah,
Campy, we could make up this word right now.
Okay, well...
We'll send it into Oxford.
Yeah.
Get them to
And the
whack it
explanation
in.
is, like when it's not ironic, but it's like more... It's not a coincidence.
Alana Morissette's song?
It's specifically the rain on the wedding day. That's the one we're going to focus on.
Yeah. You know how they'll have a definition and then an example of what it is? As is just the example of what it is. There's no definition.
The example of irony I always think of is like a fire extinguisher on fire.
Yeah.
It's like the one thing it's meant to protect against that has happened to it. Kind of thing. That is irony.
Yeah.
And you're right.
And that's an easy irony one. Yeah.
This is in that middle ground with the word that we haven't quite made up yet, but we have a definition for.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah.
Maybe
We've got an example
maybe
for.
it's Morissetti.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't mind Morissetti.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like
Morissetti,
Moriarty. Morissetti. All right, let's go with it. I don't think let's just do it.
We've invented the term Morissetti.
Morissetti.
And it's like rain on a wedding day. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Isn't it that funny, the lyrics? When it's, raining on your wedding day. Yeah. Isn't it Morissetti? Doesn't have the right syllables. We'll have to rewrite that song.
It'd be weird if she sung it. But solution, get Nelly and Brulia to sing it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Everybody will think it's a
You guys swap songs. That one's hers now, and you can have Torn.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here's another one.
Okay.
This is by Ben Jacobi. Vanilla becoming the default flavor of ice cream is the greatest underdog story of all time. I mean, that's a stretch, isn't it? Yeah. Greatest underdog story of all time.
Obviously, you've never seen Dodgeball, where the average Joes managed to beat the Cobras in that Dodgeball tournament.
I've just understood that whole thing. I think this is what I would like to challenge you with, and this person, is name another flavor that is so middle of the road that it could replace vanilla. Now, I know the argument is, well, that's just because vanilla has always been middle of the road, and we But I don't think that's totally true, because I don't think chocolate could have ever been middle of the road, right? It's too rich. Vanilla's got a bit of sweetness to it, but it's not too sweet.
I always just assumed that when they were kind of developing ice cream, or however it came to be, they just needed a slight sweetener, and that's just what vanilla is. It's just a slight natural sweetener.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, look, it needs something. Put a little bit of vanilla in it. Yeah, that's a lot better. And then it was just that for a long time.
Yeah.
Until eventually someone's like, it'd be bebetter if it was any other flavor.
It was, hey guys, you know how other flavors exist?
Yeah.
Let's just put any one of them in.
That's always how I assumed that it came to be.
Yeah.
It's not like all flavors were invented at once and they were like, but guys, vanilla will be the base one.
Yeah,
that's not how that happened.
Yeah, that's right. It was just the obvious. But I think even then, you know what? I just thought of one, actually, that I reckon could replace vanilla in terms of being the standard flavor.
Yeah.
Is green tea. Have you ever had green tea ice cream?
No, but I feel like that is far less socially accepted.
Yeah, but that's only because vanilla... what I'm saying is, if in the beginning, instead of vanilla, they put green tea, I think that would then be the standard of middle of the road.
Because it's just kind of nothing.
Yeah. If they started with chocolate, right, and then I think they would do vanilla later on. Vanilla would then still be middle of the road.
If they started with chocolate, they never would have done vanilla.
They would have.
It's a step back.
Yeah, somebody puts vanilla
Hey,
and they're like, this is the worst.
You know that thing you like? I made it worse.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. But green tea, I think could take it over. Okay. But because I'm super lame-o. That's what I go for. When I want ice cream, like if I want chips, I just get salt.
Yeah, so
salt
you get vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
So you're...
Well, I'll get green tea ice cream.
Of a Saturday night, you could be eating green tea ice cream and gluten-free bread. That's just how...
All right, let's not bring up the bread again, okay? I've seen my therapist about this for weeks. He doesn't agree with me either. Okay, I'll do one more. Sure. Maybe two more.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well, we'll see what happens.
It's a roller coaster.
See where this one goes.
Okay, this is by ZJB55446 or ZJB55446.
There's so much preamble before any one of these. It was like, okay, this one. Let me see here. What do we got?
You know what? I don't care. Again, like I think I established this at the start of the show. Listeners, I just don't care.
I care.
When you're a kid, you don't realize you're also watching your mum and dad grow up.
That one is an attempt to be deep. That isn't deep.
Oh, you don't think it's deep? Okay. No.
Do you think that's deep?
Do you know what? I'm going to prove you so wrong. The world has proved you wrong.
Okay.
This one, in fact, I'm just going to quickly check the rest. Yeah, okay. On no other posts I've had on my little notes, even the ones that I didn't read, had as many silver and gold, gilded things. So this one has 7 silver and 6 gold. A lot of people agreed with this one.
Okay.
So you're the idiot, Cambo. Think about that.
A lot of people agreed Aquaman was a fun time.
Yeah, that's true. Most people are wrong. No, but I thought this was interesting. Maybe it's just because of the circumstance I had the other day. I was talking to my dad about something, and he was telling me about his experience when he first started working. He's working for a greeting card company, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I think I was about 23." And I was like, "Wait a second. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up. You've always been older than me." And it was just like, I don't know, like a realization. It's like, obviously, I know my dad has been younger because that's how the world works. But until it was brought to my attention, I was like, oh yeah, like, and I think about things that I understand, or I think about like my friends having kids, right? Yeah. And they're about the age that my parents did. In fact, maybe even a little bit older. And I think about talking to my friends about how they are just learning to be parents, you know, like parenting is a thing that you don't inherently know. You have to pick it up, and I'm like, my parents went through it. I just thought they always knew how to be parents.
So, okay, I see where you're coming from now. So, because the idea is like, yeah, we do have friends that have kids, but I still perceive them as growing up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay,
see?
yeah, I see that a little clearer now.
Yeah. And
give it a
like,
silver.
I think my mind is going to blow when I get to my 40th birthday, because that's when I remember going to my dad's surprise 40th birthday when I was really young. And so that was like the youngest at which I knew his exact age, right? So I think when I get to 40, which is only 11 years away, not even, I'm going to be like, holy shit, this is how old my dad was when I have that memory. Like, I think that's so strange.
It's so weird that you bring up 40 specifically, because I also remember my dad's 40th birthday, and so many people had inundated him. They had put signs up from our house to where he worked all along the road saying, Stephen is 40, Stephen is old, and a lot of jokes about being old. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, 40 is officially old.
Oh, no.
Right? And that's how I always had my mind. And now I meet people that are 40, and I'm like, you don't seem that old.
Yeah.
You really don't seem that old.
Yeah, that's right.
But in my mind, 40 years old.
Yeah, that's right. I always thought that 27 was old for some reason. That specific age, I was like, oh, that's when you're old. I'm 29. This is a problem.
Yeah.
But then when you think about it logically, you're like, well, I'm not even halfway to the average death of a person.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, 70 for guys now? 70, 75 or something?
Yeah.
Like, I still got...
We've got a good innings.
I got like 6 more years, roughly, until I'm half the expected age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're theoretically still very young.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
This podcast's going to go for so many more years.
Yeah.
Or until Endgame comes out. We're not sure.
We're not sure.
We need to know how it ends.
Exactly. After post-credit scene, then we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's it, Cambo.
Okay.
That's it for shower thoughts. Now we can get into podnapping.
Oh my God! I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we steal a segment from another podcast that's better than ours. It's not hard to find one.
No.
And we nap it. Mm-hmm. And it's either a segment or a topic of conversation.
Yep.
This week is Cambo's.
Yes, and in fact, I've taken a slightly different approach again.
Oh, God.
So it started out with, and I'm going to start with a recommendation for a podcast that I listened to.
Okay.
That led me on this journey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to recommend the podcast Finding Drago.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a podcast in which it sounds like the thinnest and dumbest premise for a podcast.
Okay.
But it actually turns into quite an intriguing mystery.
Yeah.
And it is just completely about this one comedian that discovers a book about Ivan Drago from Rocky IV called Drago on Mountains We Stand. And this weird cult following that it has online. And this mysterious author that wrote it. And they're trying to find the author that wrote this book.
That's weird.
And it becomes quite a twisted, intriguing little mystery.
Okay.
So I thought, I'm not going to podnap Finding Drago because I think people should listen to it and find out.
Okay.
But I'm going to podnap the concept of investigative podcasts.
Okay.
So what I have done, Nelson, I have produced my own investigative podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Now here's the problem.
Yeah.
I didn't get time to record it all.
Okay, I thought you were going to say I don't know what to investigate.
No,
I was like, oh, this could be a long podnapping segment.
I didn't get time to record it all.
Okay.
And you're involved. So
No.
I've just left gaps
Okay.
in which I'll get you to do your bit.
Yeah.
And then I reckon I can get an edit out of this show. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Easy peasy.
And look,
easy peasy.
I didn't give you any time to research the subject of the documentary.
fine. I probably
and
know all
I
about it.
must say, it's a serious podcast, by the way.
Okay.
So if you don't know something, just kind of make it up or whatever.
Okay.
I think it'll be. Just talk with authority, and I think you'll be fine.
I got it.
So I started my own investigative podcast. I listened to 2 episodes of Serial. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I know how to make these.
Yeah.
So I started my own podcast about there is a famous Australian cult called The Family. Right? And they live up in the hills of Victoria.
Okay.
So I thought I would start an investigative podcast about how this came to be. It's called Family Feud.
No.
Now, Nelson, I'm going to play a clip.
Yeah.
There will be a point in which you will realize this is your section.
Okay.
I would just want you to kind of go along with it.
I have a feeling I know where this is going, but maybe.
no.
Okay, maybe not. Anyway, continue.
This is episode 1 of Family
Okay.
Feud.
Consider what it means to be a criminal. Now consider what it means to make somebody else a criminal. The Family, also known as the Great White Brotherhood, was an Australian New Age group, or cult, formed in the mid-1960s under the leadership of yoga teacher Anne Hamilton Byrne. But how did Anne Hamilton Byrne, of course born in 1921, end up leading such a dangerous and influential cult? This is Family Feud. I had to know more about Anne Hamilton Byrne and her teachings. I went to expert on all things The Family, Dr. Nelson Allingham, to get a complete history of this cult and all they've done, and this is what he had to say.
Yeah, you go. This is your bit.
This moment. Thank you for bringing me on this podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. So tell us everything you know about The Family.
Where to start? I mean, this is just such a rich history.
Well, you said start. Where did it start?
Well, start with Anne, obviously, which I think you've sort of touched on. You've let your listeners know.
Yeah, which
year?
year?
1921.
She was born in 1921.
Yeah. Well, that's when it started. I mean, if you haven't really understood that by now with your research, I mean, you've fundamentally missed the point of the family.
Upon further research, we discovered that almost everything that Nelson had claimed was false. Why he would come on a broadcast like this, ill-informed as he was a mystery to me.
Why would you even go to Nelson Allingham?
That is Dr. Anna Brown, Professor of Criminology at Melbourne University.
Nelson, I don't believe, has any expertise in this area, and I'm pretty sure he's not a doctor. In fact, I've listened to the podcast, and he doesn't even seem to know the difference between Sweden and Switzerland.
Well, I mean, look, to be fair, that can be confusing, but if he has lied to us, then what do you think we should do?
I think you need to get him back on to explain himself.
So that's exactly what I decided to do. I sat back down with Nelson and had him explain why he had lied to the nation.
Look. I don't appreciate being accused of making lies. Right. I said that it started in 1921 because it was all about this woman, which obviously started the family. And I think that maybe you should check your facts, It starts with her because her birth was considered almost like the resurrection of Jesus Christ, the second coming. So that's really, and if you haven't spoken to a lot of the people in the family, but I've gotten pretty close, okay? And I've worked out that they think that she was the second coming. Obviously, there was that terrible train accident that ended her life short. But that, is really, I know this stuff. I know, don't question me.
Well, okay, so one of the claims that Dr. Anna Brown made against you is that you don't have a doctorate. Yeah. Can you say categorically whether you do or don't?
I mean, what is a doctorate is sort of the question that we need to ask ourselves.
What was Nelson trying to hide? Was he working for the family? This investigation had got a little bit off track. How were the family formed? Where did they live? What crimes were they guilty of committing? And why is Nelson Allingham covering up for them? That's next week on Family Feud.
So that is the premiere episode of my investigative podcast.
Gotta say, that's like spot on produced for one of those real investigative podcasts.
Thank you.
Just serious music underneath with a bit of a...
Well, my point is it's not hard.
Yeah, it's not hard at all.
Let me tell you, Nelson, what it did is I found a royalty-free track. It was called Documentary Music. Yeah. And then I read a Wikipedia article on mic.
Okay. Yeah.
And I started with a question that means nothing.
Yeah.
You always start with a vague question. Yeah. What is the quantity of a human life? Yeah. This is what we're going to try and find out. That means nothing.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. So that's good. I can get an edit out of that now, and I can put it out. It'll be trending in no time. People love a true crime documentary. That's the one with the twist.
I think there's also a market for a completely false documentary. Don't you reckon? I think there could be a good... You don't ever admit that's not real, but you just let people figure it out, online.
It gets too insane.
Yeah.
They're like, no. No.
Yeah. Right.
And so, in fact, if people enjoyed that kind of almost mocking of an investigative podcast, I think they will enjoy Finding Drago, because it is that style of podcast, but it is about something really dumb.
Okay,
so it is that kind of tone.
Yeah.
But I think we have a knack for producing these kind of soap opera-y kind of dramatic crime podcast, Nelson.
I liked being a doctor.
Well, you weren't. Well,
it was implied, but there were no facts, Cambo. I will be a pretend real doctor if I say so.
And can I say, the best part about doing an investigative true crime podcast is you don't even need to work out who did it by the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's just
Speculate away.
The mystery is the most engaging part. All right. Cool. Well, that was a good one.
Thank you.
I will. You've upped the game a little. Wow. No, actually, no. We said this cancelled out your last one.
Yeah. So if you remember, I had this prepared, but I had forgotten to send myself because it's kind of like a complicated audio file in 3 parts.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten to send it. So 2 weeks ago, I don't even know, you may not have even realized, but I improvised brilliantly.
May not have noticed at all. It's pretty sly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well now it's time for Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want. We've got 2 here.
Yep, so I got one here from Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
She says, hey guys, Sophie, I just want to stop you right there. The formal greeting of the show is gentlemen.
We'll let it go this once, but only because we're a few days late on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
So we can't be pulling anyone up. Only this week.
Yeah.
People get away with everything when they know that. Time to show the world that you're sophisticated people. What's your favorite piece of artwork?
Oh, this is easy. I'm not a sophisticated person. Do you have one off the top of your head?
Yes. So I will admit, because I do look at the questions beforehand. Yeah. I had to Google the name of it, but I could picture it, and I knew who it was by.
Okay.
I had to picture the name of it.
Okay.
So in high school, we did. I say we, like you were there. I did a Renaissance.
I'm part of the family.
I did a Renaissance history course, and through it, we actually studied a lot of Renaissance art. So I really like the Renaissance art. It's very like religious-y and whatnot, but I think that like something about that aesthetic I really like. Yeah. And the person I really liked was one of the Ninja Turtles himself, was Raphael.
Yeah.
I really liked all the paintings Raphael did. So the painting I had in mind is called St. Michael Vanquishing Satan. I'll show you just there. I always thought it was a really cool image.
Yeah.
Kind of an action piece, if you will. Sure.
Feel free to Google at home.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's pretty Where's the bandana over his ass? I don't.
No, he painted it.
Oh, he painted it. Okay.
Yeah. With obviously bandana on.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's Saint Michael. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Was there part of you that it's like because it's Michael and he's vanquishing?
Maybe it was like my early vanity got the best of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's my name.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why I don't like any art, because nothing has been named Nelson. It does have Nelson in it.
So yeah, I really like that like Renaissance era oil painting. There's like a lot of frescoes and stuff in churches. I would really love to go there. So either that or dogs playing poker.
Yeah, that one is just. It's one of those ones where everybody's like, I could do that. Yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah.
See? You didn't do it.
Yeah.
Somebody thought of that and did it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just brilliant. Mine is... Okay. If we're going painting, I don't know if I like have a specific one, but I actually kind of quite like impressionist paintings.
Yeah. Or Banksy.
The girl with the umbrella. Bloody love that one.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like something about obviously like the style in which it's done. I like that it's just not like straight lines and you know it's sort of, I don't know, just the way that in which you create that I think is quite interesting. And I don't necessarily like have a particular one. I know there's one, I can't think of the artist or the name of the piece, but hopefully by explaining it, people will know. It's like there's women with umbrellas and they're by a river, I think, and there's like some trees and stuff, just like in a park or something. Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about?
It sounds like every impression.
You know what? There's probably a lot like that.
It's well-to-do Victorian era people in a park.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yes, that painting. Yeah.
So I kind of like those, but nothing like super stands out to me.
Yeah. But I think that's fine to have a kind of painting you like.
Yeah. I'm still sophisticated because I've got a kind. But
also magic eyes.
Magic Guys, they're so brilliant.
Yeah.
But there was a few that things I was thinking of. One I actually really like, and maybe this is just because of my relation with the artist who is my sort of uncle. Actually, he's my godfather. It's not blood-related uncle. Yeah. He's an artist, and I actually really like his paintings, and he generally draws nude women, but they're just kind of very basic. They're not lifelike. And he has some really cool ones that's like he'll paint the woman in the middle and then has these like big bold letters that like will like says sex or something like that, and just
sounds kind of provocative.
That was really that's kind of that one would probably maybe even misportrayed it a little bit. Like maybe one is like smile or something. Like they're not always super provocative, aside from the naked person. But there's just like a certain style about it. There's this one that he did sort of recently where he drew these women in different colors but over the top of each other. And it's just like really interesting because you can stare at it for a while and sort of see each image. It's kind of like a Magic Guy. And I really quite like his work. But maybe that's just because I know him and I've been able to speak to him about his style and kind of like his creativity behind it and some of the artwork that he's like, some of the like phases that he's gone through. So maybe, it's not as good judge, but I think he's quite good. Yeah. And he's pretty successful for himself. But the other thing I was going to say is, this might sound lame, but I think the artwork that I appreciate the most is TV and movies.
Right, yeah.
If you want to classify that in the same realm.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are certain... Like, for example, actually, the best example I have is this as a TV show being art is Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. I think that show is like so brilliant because it's almost like, in fact, art, you sort of could argue that it's good art elicits emotion, right? So, and I think that Breaking Bad does that really well. It can make you feel an emotion by not much at all. Like, in fact, there's sort of like still frames that you could take from the show that would probably give you just emotion just from looking at a single frame. And so I think that, like if I was really, truthful about what art I appreciate the most, it's like, it's TV and movie, and it's something like Breaking Bad, because I think it's brilliant.
Okay, I will recommend something in that vein. And this is just visually, it's probably the best looking film I've ever seen. And it's just like visual art, is the movie The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. So it came out a couple years ago. It's got Brad Pitt as Jesse James.
Yep.
If you've never even heard of it, just YouTube the opening sequence. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Right. The music, the narration, the visual style, everything about it. And again, like I said, if you pause it at any point, that would be a great picture to hang on your wall. It's just it's that good.
Yeah.
Also, I mentioned that I really like Renaissance art, and in fact, this ties back to Reddit. There's a great subreddit you should look up called Accidental Renaissance.
All right.
In which just a group, because Renaissance paintings are always like groups of people like huddling over each other and stuff like that. Yeah. Where photographers have just accidentally caught people in poses that look like Renaissance paintings. So it's very funny. That's
true. Yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty funny. Also, to relate that to another Reddit post back to what we were talking about, this is going to go another circle, is there's Accidental Wes Anderson.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which is same sort of thing. If you know Wes Anderson's style of movie, beautiful. People take pictures, a lot of like pastel colors,
very,
a lot of symmetry.
Symmetrical framings and stuff.
Yeah. And so then, that brings it back to movies, right? And he has a very, like, artful way of showing things. And
Wes Anderson's a great example, actually.
Yeah. He really is. Like, almost all his films, I think, is sort of like artistry. And
Nelson, we sound so bloody sophisticated.
We sound like the biggest wanks in the world. I was a little bit hesitant to bring it up because I knew how wanky it sounds. But I will still argue with anybody that's, good form of art.
Yeah.
But not everything. I mean, in a
way,
like Aquaman, not art.
In a way, Nelson, I think podcasts are art. Not this one, obviously.
Did you say art or fart?
Got all podcasts.
Got all of them. Because fart. Anyway, here's one from Rowan, cousin Rowan.
Oh. Well, like
Gentlemen.
cousin fart.
Oh, got him. Got all cousins. Gentlemen.
It's quite late. Sorry.
Thanks for this. Not even that. It's 8:30. Anyway, thanks for the travel tips. Funnily enough, the conference I attended was in Fed Square, which I had never been to. It was actually a cool open space to hang out in. So for all the Eiffel Tower and Fed Square bashing, I suggest listeners look elsewhere for travel advice. Well...
But did he use our travel advice?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
You said just deal with it.
And also,
So
you've
probably
been to
used
Fed
yours.
Square, but has he been to the Eiffel Tower? He might hate that.
Also, okay.
I mean, I haven't been to the Eiffel Tower.
And let me back up again, because I have kind of doubled and tripled down on my hatred for Fed Square.
You can't back up now.
He's right. It is quite a nice area. I just think the building itself is kind of...
Yeah, he was talking about like the space, I guess. Or,
yeah, people hang out there. There's some cool stuff.
But still, the building is not that bad.
Okay. In a way, Nelson.
I like how you did that passive. It goes, I mean, I guess that's what you think. Okay. He said, I've been rewatching some of the Underbelly series.
Okay.
For those who don't know, it's about the crime families in Australia.
Yes, of which there are surprisingly a large amount.
Yeah,
We have a lot of crime.
Which no Australian really knew until the Underbelly series came out. We're like, oh, there's a lot of crime in Australia.
Yeah. Melbourne, where we're from specifically, a lot of crime. Of crime families.
I mean, not so much anymore.
No.
There still exists a bit, but
This is the bad days of the early 2000s.
This was like the kind of peak point of crime families,
late 90s,
and when
early
it all
2000s, stuff like
when
that.
it all hit a head. Anyway, so AMA 74.0. If you were an underworld figure, which of the following would you be and why? Crooked cop, pimp, drug dealer, standover man.
Ooh.
I don't know what a standover man is. That like an assassin dude or something?
Standover man, I believe, are people that kind of shake down businesses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like,
that's actually what I meant.
Be ashamed if something happened, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I said assassin, but I actually meant that. I know assassin doesn't sound anything like that, but that's what I was thinking.
This is an unrelated tangent, but there's a really great old Monty Python sketch in which two standover men from the mafia shake down the army.
Oh yeah, I do remember seeing that.
General's office, like, you got some nice looking tanks out there. Shame if something happened to them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
I think you and I could be standover men, like, because there's always two of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's always
true.
the one that stands behind, like, the muscle.
Yeah.
His arms, and then there's the Weasley guy that talks to him.
Can I be the one that eats the burger and drinks the drink?
Yeah. So are you the guy that doesn't say much? You stand there behind, and then I'm at the counter being like, my friend Nelson here, I don't want to have to bring him in.
I was thinking about Pulp Fiction, and I was more like
You're thinking about assassins again.
No, but they're at that moment. I mean, they end up killing them all. Yeah, okay, yeah. But they're meant to be standover men at that point, right?
Yeah.
They're little from column A, little from column B.
Yeah.
Because I like that he just got to eat that guy's burger.
That's true.
I feel like I could do that. I could eat somebody's burger and be intimidating at the same time.
Okay, so you're the Sam Jackson, I'm the John Travolta.
Yeah.
Okay. We both have bad hair.
Yeah. You end up dying.
Oh, spoilers, Nelson. Some people haven't seen that movie from 1992.
Well, he also eats the burger, so you take that. Wow.
I think we could be a pair of standover men.
I think we'd do it in a way that, like, we would just be annoying. Like, we'd just be always around. Like, our methods would maybe take longer than average.
But the results would be the same.
But exactly.
You get the same result, but a longer wait.
So, is that not better?
Yeah.
I mean, then you obviously don't have any, like, criminal convictions on your hand necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be weird if they called the cops like, oh, these guys are so annoying. Like, they're not going to come over, are they?
That's true. That's a good tactic, maybe.
Yeah. What are they doing? Oh, they're leaving Scrabble pieces on my pillow that say dickhead. I think I could also be a crooked cop. I could easily be a crooked cop.
Yeah?
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, being a cop, I feel, probably just sucks to begin with. And it would be so easy to take bribes. So easy. And all the thing that... Do you know what they do, right?
Yeah.
Criminals, they give you money as a cop, and you don't have to do anything. That's the best part of it. It's like, hey, don't do your job.
Now,
Please, I'm already not doing my job. Why don't I just take some money and not do my job?
Can I point out, Nelson, at one point, I don't know if we've ever historically said this on the show, but at one point, you went for a job with the Australian police.
Not as a police officer.
But even so, I think that if that chance were to come again, I think the police do research into people.
Lucky I didn't get that
Yeah,
job.
because if you went for it again and they just pick this episode and you're like, I'd be a crooked cop. You have money for nothing.
Yeah. But then I'd pay them off because they're probably crooked. They'd be like...
Oh, the cops are crooked.
They'd be like, hey, I remember when you got to that point in the podcast and you'd say you'd pay us off. So...
I think crooked cop would depend what city I'm in. If they're like, you're a cop, you're assigned to Gotham City. I'm like, I'm just going to be a crooked cop. There's so much crime in Gotham. I'm never going to take down the Joker.
Batman's got covered.
Yeah. I'll be a crooked cop.
Yeah.
They're all crooked.
And theoretically, is Jim Gordon not a crooked cop because Batman is outlawed and he helps him? So
even the good cops are crooked cops.
So you take bribes from the mafia and help Batman.
Yeah.
What is wrong? Tell me what's wrong with that.
I'll tell you what's wrong with it. Bloody nothing.
Nothing, mate. Pimp? No. I'm not as interested in that.
Me neither.
Really?
What was the third one?
And drug dealer, I think.
No, I
couldn't
think I'd
do
be a
that
stand-up
either.
man. That's fine.
Yeah, stand-up man. Yeah.
No, I would be the mafia boss. That's me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the big one.
That's true. You've got the tenacity, I would say. Okay. That's that.
And the show.
Thanks for writing in, Cousin Rowan and Sophie. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast at gmail.com. You can also reach us on Facebook, at Twitter, and our subreddit. They're all READIT podcast. And if you could rate and subscribe us, that would be super duper. If you want to write in with your...
What's the
Morissetti?
Okay, yeah.
I'd like to hear more Morissettis.
Yeah. I would also enjoy that. Also, if you feel like being generous and you want to recommend the show, maybe act as a standover man to one of your friends.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, maybe you should listen to Reddit on Reddit. Hey, if something happened to you.
Put Scrabble pieces on their pillow. It says Reddit on Reddit podcast. Listen now, please. Yeah, if you've got enough pieces, obviously.
And then leave a little bit of space and then how's your right?
Dickhead.
That's the
Cover all bases.
It's the perfect break.
That's it. Thanks for listening.
We're back.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will read you later.